Hey, hey, lovely. You okay? God, you were on before I was. Let me change the background a sec. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. How you doing, sis? You were there before I was. Is that okay? Is that screen okay? Let's fix it. How we doing? It's a new one tonight. A bit of a different one. I thought I'd do. How are we? If you're watching tomorrow, it is a live. I'm not talking to myself. I'm not going crazy. Well, I always say this and always am a little bit crazy. Oh, you're back. I seen. Was that just? Have you just come on now? Sis, it's crazy. Hey, Hallie, how you doing? You're all on time. How are we? It's Thursday. Can you believe how quick that slipped from Tuesday? It's gone really quick, hasn't it? Do you know? Oh, you got kicked off. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't kick you off. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, I can't believe it's Thursday. Right. Hey, Phil, how you doing? Happy Just Rose Day. Yay. We're going to try and have a bit of a smoother one today. That's the plan anyway. We're going to try and have a smoother one today. I don't know if you know this one. It's a bit of a different one. I'll wait for a few more to join. It's a bit of a different one to what I normally do. Hey, Kelly. How you doing? How are you? Oh, yeah. I'll hang on a minute. And then we'll start this one. I want to give you all a heads up. There is a project going on in the kitchen. So if you hear anything, just phase it out. Phase it out. Just ignore it. Because it was supposed to be finished by now. They were supposed to be upstairs, but they couldn't get it finished. They're doing a bird, and it's got to be in for tomorrow. So, yeah, if you hear anything, just ignore it. Just ignore it. I noticed the other day as well, when I rewatched the video back, that the sound was a bit funny. So let me know if the sound starts to sound a bit dodgy while I'm doing it as well. I noticed that when I was rewatching it as well. It was a bit clicky for about the first 10 minutes. So I don't know what that was. Hopefully it's not going to be a thing today, and we'll get through it. We'll get through tonight's one without it all going horribly wrong. This one tonight, completely different. I have done probably about the playing darts in your kitchen, right? Wow, darts, fun. Darts, really? Yeah. No, it's not that bad. Well, I say that they've got like the what you would pump up your swimming pool with, the big. So you possibly hear that. You'll possibly hear that throughout the story. Fingers crossed, you won't notice it too much. This one tonight, I have done a couple of these stories before. They're not my usual. They border on the diving stories that I've done before. So a little bit of a different one for you, but it's such an upsetting case that happened in 2022. I thought I've got to share it with you if you don't know about it. So live with that regret. You live with that regret. If you bought it, you live with that. That's your own fault. You're watching tomorrow. My sister bought her husband and her child a dartboard, so she will live with that. She will live with the consequences of that and holes in your walls. Do you know, when I was about 10, my cousin actually hit me with a dart. Yeah, he was aiming at me, made me stand underneath the dartboard and threw them at me. So that was my youth. So that was fun. You better make sure that Steve's not doing it to Austin. But yeah, we'll start in a second, I think. Has anyone heard of this one? Does anyone know of this one? Or am I going to surprise you all tonight? Because I do like to come at you with different ones on a Thursday. And tonight, hey, Mum. Hello. Mum's here. Do you know, tonight, I actually... I know I am mean, Phil. Do you know... I'd actually says to my mum, don't worry tonight, and here she is. I need to say that. Yeah, it's a new one this evening. that we're going to try and get through all the way to the end. So that's the plan. That's the plan of tonight's one. So I'm going to start in a second if you're all ready, if you haven't heard of this one. I was going to say something then. Yeah, it's not my normal. It's not my normal type story. Oh, that's what I meant to say. If you've got any suggestions for the Tuesday request day, pop it in the comments for me, and I'll have a look. Don't put it on the comments. Well, you can put it on the comments on here, but have you not heard of this one either, Mom? Yeah, but I'll put it on the comments on here. It's a little bit like the similar. I've done the Nutty Putty Cave one. I have done it. It's on the no. It's on that spectrum, but it's a little bit different. But it's just as upsetting. Let's say that, just as upsetting as that one. But yeah, like I say, anything for Tuesday, pop it in the comments or pop it in once the video's uploaded, and we'll have a look at doing it on Tuesday. So we're going to start now. If you're all happy for me to start, if you're watching tomorrow, here's where we're going to start. I don't know how to timestamp, so I'm timestamping now. So, okay, let's go. So it's quite in depth, so all bear with me. But it's the heartbreaking Caribbean pipe disaster. I never know it's Caribbean or Caribbean, but that's it, pipe disaster. Okay, so we're going to start now. Okay, we've got 5 gentlemen who this story is surrounded around. I need to put my teeth back in. I don't know what's going on. But their names are, okay, Christopher Budram. He's 36. We've got Kazim Ali Jr. He's 37. Youssef Henry. He's 31. We've got Rishi Nagasar. He's 48. And we've got Faisal Kurban. He's 57. Okay, so they're the 5 men involved in this disaster. All right. And what they do, they're actually underwater welders. And they work for a service company called Land and Marine Contracting Services, and they're LMCS. That's who they work for. That's who they're contracted through. Now, that company was contracted to do a job by the Pariah Fuel Trading Company, which was a state-owned company, okay? And they've been contracting to just carry out some routine maintenance. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain to you how this pipe works, what they are working on, all right? Okay, so it's a U-shaped pipe, okay? Now, we've got berth 5 and berth 6. So berth 5's on the left-hand side, berth 6 is on the right-hand side. So imagine a U-shape like this. The top is near the where the beach would go in. So you're near the entrance to the beach, or the exit to the sea, should we say. So that's where the one side is, and then it comes all the way down 55 foot to the sea floor, comes all the way along 1,200 feet, okay, through the sea, along the sea floor, and then comes back up by the 55, up 55 foot on the other side, which is where, when the ships come in, they put the oil in, okay? So they don't have to come all the way to the land. Why can I not think of what this is? The coastline. Is that what it's called? You know where the beach is? This part here. Why can I not think of what that's called now? But when the ship comes in here, they put the oil in here. It goes down 55 feet. It goes 1,200 feet along, which is about 4 football pitches. And then it comes up. And then it's extracted out nearer land. I suppose that's the best way to say it. Right, okay. Now, to understand what happened in this disaster, At birth 6, so the one nearest land, okay, it comes up. I'm not going to show you the really bad picture I've drew. I'm not going to show you what the picture I drew. But the pipeline comes up. Now, here's your sea level here, okay? So both pipes are down 55 foot, come along here. Now, here's your sea level. The pipe comes slightly out. And then the way I'm going to explain to you, imagine you're in a bath, okay? If you got a bucket and just put it on the water in your bath and you push down, don't move left or right, but just push down, it would leave an air pocket in a bucket, wouldn't it? So imagine a huge bucket, and it's called the hyperbaric chamber. Now that sits over this pipe in berth 6, okay? It sits over that pipe. Now what that allows these men that I've spoken to, yeah, who are underwater welders, so they're obviously they're trained divers. What it allows them to do is when they come out in a boat, they come off the boat in their diving equipment, they swim down to where the pipeline is, okay? They swim under the hyperbaric chamber, which is like that bucket. And when they come under, you've got the pipeline there and then like an open air pocket that they can move around in. And that way they can do maintenance on the pipe without having to have all their equipment over them and, worry about their oxygen running out or anything like that. So it gives them the opportunity to move around and do the work they need to do. And then when they've done everything they need to do with regards to the pipe and the maintenance, they literally put their stuff, their diving equipment back on. They swim under, out of the bucket, under, up, and then up to the sea, and they get back on their boat and away they go. That is the process as I'm understanding it. I think I've explained it. I hope I've explained it the way, it's the way my mind's got it, and it's the way I've written it down and stuff. Now, the pipe, the oil pipe that they're working on is quite small. Its circumference is quite small. It's 2.5 feet circumference. Okay, that's the pipe they work on. Now, let me explain that pipe. The reason I'm doing all of this is I need to explain this so you can see what happens in a second, okay? So within that pipe, do you remember I says this end of the pipe up down here where the oil's put in, now it's capped. So when the ship comes in and puts the oil in, it's capped. So obviously there's not oil going all around the ocean. So the oil goes from there, it comes all the way along, and then it comes up to a certain level within this pipe. And then there's something called it's a plug. It's an inflatable plug that blocks the oil from, then you've got the plug, then you've got a bit of air, and you've got the hyperbaric chamber. So you've got the oil right there, okay? So that's where we are. Hopefully I've explained that. Now, the plug is airtight, okay? It's supposed to be airtight, and it's supposed to, obviously the air where the oil is a different air pressure to the air that they're in their hyperbaric chamber, the bucket. So it's a different air pressure. Okay, so that should explain where we are. Okay, now at this point in the story, we are on the 25th of February 2022 at this moment. All right, this is where we are. Now, the reason we know exactly what happens in this story is Kazim is wearing like a GoPro. He's wearing a camera on him. Okay, so what you see, and this footage is out there, it's quite upsetting to watch once you know what happens. But the beginning of the footage is Kasim. He's come out of his hyperbaric chamber, the bucket. He's swam under, he's come up, so he's broke out of the sea level, and there's a ship waiting just there, and he needs a wrench. So you see him grab this wrench, you then see him come back into the water, swim below the bucket to come under it, okay? So you see that happen, and you see him hand the wrench to one of the others. I'm not too sure. I don't think we know which one of the lads it is he hands the wrench to, because don't forget there's 4 of them in there. So once he comes in, there are 5 of these 5 men are in this hyperbaric chamber now. They're in there, they're just doing work, they're talking, because they don't need their equipment on, they can breathe quite easily, even though they're underwater. Because of the air pocket, they can breathe quite easily under there. They're talking, everything seems fine. Okay. Now, what happens is a split second freak accident. That's all you can say it is. And as the wrench is used, now what they were doing, they were deflating the inflatable plug. Apparently that's what they were there to do. It was just maintenance they were doing on the pipe. That's all it was supposed to do. It was supposed to be very just a normal everyday job for them. You know, it wasn't supposed to be some dangerous thing they were doing. Well, as they turn the wrench, you don't see that happen. You just know that you see one of their arms go down. The screen goes black. You don't know what just happened. It looks like the GoPro camera's just run out. It just looks like it stopped. That's not what happened at all. Okay. What has actually happened in that split second, as that valve's been loosened, the air pressure hadn't been matched. So the air pressure from where the oil was rushes up, met the air pressure from the hyperbaric chamber, the bucket, that met, and it created a kind of tornado, which in that split second when the screen goes black, what actually has happened in that moment is all 5 men have been dragged down that pipe in a split second. All 5 men, everything in that hyperbaric chamber, all 5 men, all their diving equipment and the seawater all get flushed down in 55 foot down to the seabed and pushed along. So don't forget that pipe that's running along the seabed is 1,200 foot long, 4 football pitches, and they have just been shot down and shot across. Now, what happened was, at that moment, the air pressure starts to oh God, what's the word? Have I written it down? It starts to oh, I've gone blank. What's the air pressure starts to, oh, help me someone, help me. It starts to, how can I mess that up? The air pressure starts to, I've lost it. I've gone. I was doing so well. It's gone. Everything's gone. So I was going so well. Depressurized. Ha! It all starts to match, basically. I suppose that's it. Yes. The air pressure all starts to match. So as the men have been shot down with the power and they've been shot across the bottom part of the pipe, they stop at about 120 feet into the 1,200 foot horizontal part of the pipe. Okay, so it all starts to do you know what? Towards the end of the story, that's going to come to me, that word is. But it all starts to level out. Okay? So now think about this. They have been shot down. They don't know what's happened. These 5 men have no idea what just happened. They are in pitch black. They are in crude oil and seawater. Okay? So you can you can't imagine, can you? I was about to say, so you can imagine. You can't imagine what these men are going through at that point. But as they've been shot down and they've come to this stop 120 feet along the horizontal pipe, they've just by pure chance, they've ended up in an air pocket. And what it is, the pipe that runs along the seabed, it's got ridges, which makes it so it's not quite flat to the seabed. It in certain parts along the pipe, it's raised, which created a few air pockets along the bottom, and they just happen to have ended up in an air pocket along this length of pipe. So as that now, again, you can listen to this. You hear a lot of splashing and everything else, and then all of a sudden, the voice you actually hear is Christopher Budram's voice, and they're from Trinidad and Tobago. You can hear the accent, and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And they're calling for each other, and it's very echoey. You can hear a lot of splashing. It's pitch black. They're so disorientated, they can't see anything. They're flat. So the pipe is here. It's only 2.5 foot around them. So their shoulders are trapped. Their arms are trapped. And it's basically, they work out as they're talking to each other. They're basically foot to head of each other along the pipe, the 5 of them. That's how it's happened. They're not far from each other at all, so they all start shouting to each other, "Are you okay? You hurt? Are you hurt?" A couple of them had broken bones, so a couple of them were hurt in that pipe, but they were all alive. They'd all made it through that. Apparently, it would have been about 90 seconds of just not knowing what has just gone on. They, you wouldn't have had a clue until they've come to a stop and realised they're inside the pipe. Because they didn't know, they were outside, they were in their chamber, they didn't know they were in the pipe. And then they realised where they are. And it was said that their eyes were stinging, they couldn't breathe, their ears were burnt, everything was burning from the crude oil, everything. Like I say, it's 2.5 foot wide. They were fighting to breathe. A lot of them were really sore. They'd started shouting at each other to make sure who was in the pipe. Okay, so what they didn't realise, though, what was also quite scary, is they didn't know how far along this pipe they'd been pulled. They didn't know where they were in the pipe. Like I say, it's pitch black. Now, I've heard people say, well, if they went down, they would know that to get out. No, they don't know if they've gone down head first. They don't know if they've gone down feet first. They don't know where they are. They have no, it's black. You see on the footage. I've watched the video myself. It's pitch black. They have no way of knowing what's up and down, where where they are in this pipe. But they start trying to get their bearings and everything else. But they start bickering amongst each other of which way they should try to get out. And one saying, "Let's go this way," one saying this, and they're bickering. Then they're saying, "We're in an air pocket, stay here, wait for the rescue." So they spend a little bit of time kind of bickering amongst each other of who, where to go. Plus 3 of them were quite hurt. They were quite hurt. So, okay. Right, so then they finally decide then they're going to start pushing from the end, which is Christopher Budram's end, sorry, I'm pronouncing his name wrong. And he's head first. So now, if you imagine, they're on their back, the pipe's right here, they've got water right here, and his feet were on Kazim, who's the next one, Kazim Ali's shoulders, okay? So that's how they are along the pipe. So what they start doing is they start with just the heels of their feet, because that's the only way they can move. They're like this. And with the heels of their feet, they start trying to edge their way back along to what they hope is going to be berth 6, which is where the hyperbaric, which is the point they've just come out of. Because don't forget, if they edge along this way and try and come up this side of the pipe of the U-bend, that's capped off. So they get to there and they battle to there and it's capped off. That it's a suicide mission. So they're hoping they're going the right way to be able to get out. So that's going through their minds as well. So they're pushing their way along. As they're backing up, as Christopher's backing up, he starts to realise that the water is rising behind him. And what's happened, do you remember where I says there's ridges on the pipe? Well, they're back along the seabed now. So the air pocket is switching. So the water's starting to come over them now. Well, Christopher and Kazim say, look, we're going to, on a breath hold, try and get through this section and hopefully make it to another air pocket. The other 3 are, no, we stay all together until someone comes to rescue us. There was a lot of panic going on. Don't forget, they can't see each other. They're shouting, you know, back and forth to each other. So Christopher and Kazim are like, look, we've got to do, but you know, we don't know how long that we're going to be down here. They didn't know how much air they were going to have left down there. They didn't know if more water was going to come down. They did not know what was going to happen. So from that point, Christopher and Kazim leave the 3 in that air pocket at the end of that first air pocket, and they start pushing themselves along the pipe, along the seabed. Water's starting to come higher and higher on them. They manage to hold their breath long enough, them to come up into another air pocket. Okay, they stop there and they're exhausted. That, you know, time's going by, every movement. Kazim's got a broken leg, he believes. He's trying to get through on this broken leg. Christopher, he seems to be okay. He's saying, come on, we've got to keep going. Kazim, he's like, I don't think I can. And then literally, as Christopher reaches back, what's there? One of their oxygen tanks. He reaches again, there's another one. There's 2 oxygen tanks. So he manages somehow, I don't know how he does it, but he manages to squeeze the oxygen tank past himself, pass it down to Kazim, gets it. Now what they have to do, because don't forget, it's just this 2.5 foot, they have to put the oxygen tank kind of behind them with the mouthpiece here, same with Kazim, and continue to push back. But Kazim's getting more and more exhausted. He can't go on any further. The oxygen tanks only have an hour's worth of oxygen in them each. So finally, when they reach another air pocket, Christopher and Kazim agree that Kazim's going to give his oxygen tank to Christopher. He's going to stay in this 3rd air pocket, and Christopher's going to try and make a go for it. Don't forget, he doesn't know how far along they are. He doesn't know if he's heading the right way. They're just hoping. So Christopher finally starts pushing, keeps going backwards. He's on his own now. He can still hear the other 3 shouting. He can hear Kazim shouting, but he keeps going. And all of a sudden, he feels his oxygen tank bang against the pipe, the shoulder of the pipe. So he's reached the end of the horizontal pipe, and he's reached the bend of the pipe. Now, what he said is when he got to this point, he knew the oxygen was running out. He's in water. This is water. This is oil and water. He's in this part, and all he says was what was going through his brain is what happens if I get to the top. He's still got nearly 60 foot to swim up. What happens if I get to that point and it's capped, and I'm actually in berth 5, not berth 6. But he says he prayed at the bottom, he took his breath, and he went for it. And he reaches the top. He actually is in berth 6. He's in the pipe nearest land where they'd started off. But now he's got another problem. Because the plug is no longer there, the water and oil has finished below in the pipe. Now there's the hyperbaric chamber there, but it's been likened to, imagine being at the bottom of a well. So you're not in the, you can breathe and everything, but you can't get to the top. That's where he found himself. So there was still a way to go. So, but there was a chain hanging down. So he holds onto the chain, starts pulling, starts banging, starts shouting, starts screaming. And eventually there was some divers, because don't forget, these men have been gone at this point for 3 hours. This has gone on for 3 hours. Everything I've just told you sounds quite quick, but that's how long they've been trapped under there by now. The divers heard the banging. They come into the hyperbaric chamber and they pull Christopher out. So you think, there we go. There we go. We're free. That's what you think. He gets out. You know, he's not too bad. Obviously, his eyes, everything. He's been through hell, but he hasn't got any broken bones. He's taken out, and he tells them, look, they're all alive down there. They're all alive down there. Okay? We've got to get them out. So Chris, in his belief that there's going to be a rescue, he's seen divers, he goes to hospital, believing that all his friends they won't be far behind him. That's what he believes when he goes to the hospital. Okay. The divers that had got Christopher out then swim. They don't swim into the pipe, obviously. They swim down along the seabed, along the 1200, because they don't know where the men are in the pipe. So they start tapping along the seabed on the pipe, tapping all the way along until they start to hear taps back. And that's how we know they're about 120 feet into that horizontal pipeline. And they're tapping back. So the men inside must have been thinking, yes, we're free. They know where we are. They can hear us. So they're banging, they're shouting, they're like, we're here. There's 4 of them. Okay. So minutes start to go by and there's nothing happening. Hours start to go by. Nothing's happening, and these men are banging, they're screaming, they're shouting. Don't forget where they are in this pipeline, their eyes are still, but this is crude oil all over them. So they're screaming, they're banging, they're begging for help. But help doesn't come. It doesn't come to them. For hours is going by and no help is coming. Now, Pariah, it's a great name, isn't it? It's a great name for a company. Pariah actually say that they've got no plan in place for a rescue for these men. They've got no plan in place. So you've got divers out there saying, we'll go down, we'll get them. No. When Christopher at the hospital heard, because hours are going by and he's not hearing about his friends, when he hears that Pariah, which is the state-owned company of this pipeline, okay, it's not who the men work for. These people own the pipeline, Pariah do. When he hears that they will not authorise a rescue to go ahead, he tries to discharge himself out the hospital. He's like, I'll do it, I'll go. And he has to be stopped. And he's like, no, we can't let you out. He can't get out of the hospital. There's the company itself that they work for, LMCS. Again, they've got people they can send down because these are their men. But because it's Pariah that own the pipeline, they will not authorise a rescue to go ahead. And their excuse is we're not going to basically allow anyone else to die. We're not going to put any more men in danger. We don't know if they're alive. They're banging, they're shouting, and Pryor is saying, no, but we don't know if it's them. That could be their equipment. Christopher's like, they're in an air pocket. They're in an air pocket down there. They're alive. No. We don't know that. We don't know that for sure. Oh, just, can you imagine being the family and Christopher? Oh my goodness, I just can't imagine it. I just can't. So they wait until the 28th, and I don't forget this was on the 25th of February. Christopher actually came out of that pipe at 5 o'clock. Yes, 5 o'clock on the 25th of February. That's when he came out and says they're all alive down there. They're okay. You can get them. They waited till the 28th of February. They waited till the Monday. Didn't want to work on the weekend? No? They waited until the Monday before they went down and recovered the bodies of 3 of the men. Only 3 of them were recovered. And then it wasn't until the 8th of March that the 4th man was finally recovered. Now, I've watched the Christopher actually on the stand when the inquiry was going ahead in this. The inquiry was back in August of 2023 into this freak accident, but it wasn't. The inquiry wasn't about that. The inquiry is what had happened afterwards. And he's on the stand, and it's absolutely heartbreaking where he's describing them in the pipe, how their eyes are burning, you know, the circumstances, what was going on at the time. And it's just, he said, he actually starts crying then. He says, everything in me while he was in the hospital was hoping that a rescue was happening at the time he was in the hospital. Just everything in him was hoping that that's what was going on while he was in the hospital. And it wasn't. It wasn't. They just left them to die down there. They didn't even try. No. It's equipment got banging around. They knew they were alive. They were banging back. This case, when I heard it, I thought, I've got to share it with you because it's just, can you imagine, for days? The autopsy actually said that they could have passed anywhere from the 26th, so that means 24 hours in that position, right up to the Monday morning. Any time between there. Which means that the recovery could have been a rescue if they'd have gone down maybe a few hours earlier on the Monday. I don't know. They couldn't say for certain. But they did say that they were still alive, at least on that Saturday. So that's hours they had to go down and get them. Hours. It's just such an upsetting story. As of January 24, the inquiry into Pariah actually concluded, and they are to be tried for gross negligence and corporate manslaughter. Now, that's only as of January 24, so it is an ongoing case. They still haven't answered to it. There was something else I found out which was quite upsetting. On the board of directors, I believe it's for the company they were working for, LMCS. So LMCS have not been, they haven't been found guilty of the gross negligence because it wasn't there. They weren't stopping rescuers from going down. It wasn't their pipe. So although they're being looked at, as being culpable for what happened, then they haven't been found. There's no trial going to go ahead for the company that the men worked for. It's the pipe owners, the state-owned company, Pariah, that are actually going to face, hopefully, the consequences of this. But Kazim Ali Jr., who was the second man in line, who couldn't quite make it to the end with Christopher, his dad, Kazim Ali Sr., actually worked on the board of directors for LMCS, the company they worked for. So I can't even imagine how he felt. But it was said that no matter what the company did or said, the divers that came forward to say we can go down, Pariah would not allow anyone to go down. They were stopping anyone who was going in to try and rescue these men. I don't know why. And hopefully we'll find that out in the trial. Why would you not at least try? And their argument from beginning to end has been we weren't willing to lose any more men in that pipe. So I just don't think that doesn't wash. It doesn't. I mean, we'll find out as the case goes on. Like I say, the inquiry's done now, and they are going to pursue the trial. What's it called? They're going to pursue the charges that have been made against Pariah. But that was only as of January 24. So that's been 2 years it's took to get us to this point. So God knows how long it will take. Obviously, I'll keep an eye on it, and any updates that I hear regarding it, I will let you all know. But if you do want to have a look at the video that I've described to you, where you can see the GoPro, it's heartbreaking once you know what happened. Once you know what happened, then it's awful. It's awful to say, because I'll describe it to you, and basically, like I say, you see him come under, you see him reach up with the wrench, you see him he looks like he's about to lean on a ledge to lift himself up out of the water to be able to take his equipment off, and it does look like he's doing this. This is Kazim. And he's kind of looking up, and you can see someone do this, which is obviously the wrench on the lever, and then it just goes black. Screen just goes black in a split second, and all you can hear is water. You hear water on the sound, and only you can hear that. You would think the GoPro cut off at that point, and then it's still pitch black. You can't see anything. There's nothing, but you can hear the men talking to each other, and they're all like, "Are you okay? Are you there? Where are you? Where are you in the pipe? Where?" And it's just, it's heartbreaking, because they all sound so. You can hear that a couple of them are in pain, but they're all fully with it. They're fully lucid. So it's just so upsetting once you know what happened. And to see then Christopher on the stand talking about it, and see, he's a grown man, see him cry, it was just, yeah, it's a really upsetting case. And like I say, I will keep an eye on it for you all, because that's all I know as it stands at the moment. But I just wanted to do it for you, because I just thought, what a joke. What an absolute joke. They just left 4 grown men to die in a pipe. just, yeah, that's what I thought. And Pariah just says it all, doesn't it? Just the perfect name for them. I mean, I'm assuming it was monetary. I don't know. I don't know. It's a company though, isn't it? It's like, we always know that, they'll always replace you quite quickly, don't they? They don't think about people. It's all about the bottom line, isn't it? So, but yeah, that I know it's a different story tonight. I know it's completely different to what I normally do, but I just thought it was just so sad. And it is a crime. I see it as, I know it's a true crime channel, and I do believe it's a crime. And I hope they get the book thrown at them. I genuinely do. I genuinely hope they go out of business. I do, because it was just a disgusting case. But that was the heartbreaking Caribbean pipe disaster. What did you think? What do you think of that one? Bit of a different one, I know, but I hope I managed to explain it properly, how I meant. I'll show you the picture I drew now, but this is why I didn't want to show you earlier, because it's so lame. It's the lamest picture in the world, but look, that's the picture I drew. That was the picture I drew. So that's why I didn't want to show you earlier, because I thought, that's not going to make any sense to them. It just about made sense to me, but I just had to get it into my head of how to explain the situation to you. So I hope it made sense to you. I hope you could imagine what I was saying to you. But I just thought, and then while I was listening to it, I was like, could you imagine if Christopher had gone the wrong way and ended up at the capped off bit? I mean, oh, just the whole thing's awful. The whole case is just, it'd just be worst nightmare, just like this, for days, just left there, just thinking someone's going to come and help you any minute. Horrific story, I thought. So yes, I thought I would give you a different one tonight, a little bit of a different one from my normal. But yeah, it's okay. I don't know how to end it now. I know, where's Ariane? She hasn't messaged me either. She hasn't messaged me. She hasn't spoke to me since. What did you all do to her the other night? What did you do? It's like she's just disappeared off the face. Well, I suppose that, you've got to have a thick skin sometimes. And if she couldn't say, I didn't even think that was a particularly joke, like bad joke of any sort. I wouldn't have even questioned it. It'd have been like a it wasn't even it wasn't anything. It's like, what happened? That's crazy. I don't know. You have to be tough skinned. You've got to be a bit tougher skinned than that. But I'll be honest, I was saying to Tiffany, I think she's quite young. I'm not 100%, but I think she's quite young. I don't think too young to be on the channel. I don't think that young, but I do think she's quite young, and maybe she got, I don't know, maybe she got a little bit paranoid a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why she reacted that way. But I was gutted because the other night was her story. And I really wanted to do justice for her. It all went crazy. I had a freak out. And then I tried to pull it back with no notes the other night. And then she wasn't even there. She wasn't even there for it. It was like, okay. So maybe she watched it the next day. Who knows? Maybe she's unsubscribed. I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. But, it could be perfectly innocent. She could just be busy tonight. Who knows? We'll see. We'll soon know come Tuesday if she's not here, because she's been here every night since. Yeah, Warwick ruined it. It was Warwick's fault. Warwick ruined it. Warwick's got rid of one of our Rose family. Never mind. Oh, that's harsh. No, I don't mean that. You just have to be a bit thicker skinned, I think, especially in the comments. It sometimes I have to stop myself. you know, I have to stop myself sometimes because obviously the next day you lot aren't here. So I'm very aware that it's someone else watching me where yous aren't here to kind of send them a love genuine Warwick. Oh, poor Ariane. Poor Ariane. I mean, you know what? Maybe she'll be back. Maybe it's literally just she couldn't make it. It's not. It's just really unusual because normally when I put a post up, Tiffany always responds. Phil always responds. Oh, was you being serious, Warwick? Are you being serious? I don't know. I don't know. I'm lost. Kelly, was you not here the other night? Towards the end, Warwick picked on Ariane. That's what happened. Yeah, picked on her, and she hasn't come back. It was. Do you know what? It's ridiculous. There was a joke made. The No, don't. Are you joking? I hope you're joking, Warwick, because no, thicker skin than that. I really hope you. You don't do emojis, so I don't know if you're joking at the minute. Yeah, basically the I'm laughing too, Tiff. I can't tell if this. There's no emojis. Yeah, the stepmother in the story I done the other day, which was the Aurora Gagnon story, which is the one that Ariane had asked for. Her name was Marianne Hood, and Warwick had put Marianne or Ariane. That was it. I genuinely, I know, really winding me up. Are you serious? Yep, and I when I read it back, I thought, oh my god, is that it? Because the way it had gone throughout the night, and then I realised she disappeared, she'd gone. I thought, God, something really bad. But I'd seen that happen, but I thought, well, it can't just be that. And then I found out that that's all it was, and it's like, oh, come on. It was obviously a joke. It wasn't even a major joke. It wasn't even something you'd be like, ooh, burn. It wasn't anything like that. So I genuinely don't know what happened then. Kelly, I don't know if you remember, if you wasn't here, I had a freak out and I got up and had a drink of water. Mitzi, my dog, started jumping on the back 3 or 4 times, and then jumping behind me. Tiffany started shouting at people. It was a crazy night the other night. It genuinely was. There must have been a full moon or something. It was just crazy. Same, Phil, same. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But it was banter. It genuinely was just banter. It wasn't even anything. I mean, I don't even know what's going on because I'm in the middle of a very kind of serious part of the story, and I can kind of see to the left of me this is going on. But obviously, I can see your comments to the left, but I just look straight on. So every now and again, a comment will catch my eye, but I don't tend to say anything to it unless I need to. And I could see this going on the other night, but I just thought, I thought nothing of it. And then Tiffany comes in with her size 6s, all in full caps. Basically, you all need to get a sense of humour because we're Irish here and you need to. I was like, oh my God, oh wow. Oh wow, wow, she's been let off a leash. So there we go. There, just like she's put there, she's in charge of the comments. So she comes in with her size 6s, and so I don't know if it was Tiffany. Warwick, it might not have even been you. It might have been Tiffany. Tiffany might have been the bully. Who knows? So I don't know. I don't know. The poor little soul. I think she's young though. I do think she's quite young, but I don't know. And I'm not gonna. It's a true crime channel. It's obviously an adult channel. You know, we have a laugh. You know, we have a little chat beforehand. We have a laugh afterwards. And if she can't, maybe I feel harsh, but maybe the lives aren't for her. That's all I'll say, because there is a bit of back and forth, and you know, or maybe she can watch the live and not say anything. Who knows? Is Warwick still here? Is Warwick gone? What have you done now? Has Warwick's gone? What have you done? Tiffany, have you done it? Is this another one? Have you got rid of another one now? What have you done? What is happening? Thank you. Thank you. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was like, oh my God, I lost another one. Oh, no, please. We're a family. We have to bicker, but we're a family. But yeah, so that's what I'm Kelly, honestly. And we keep things very calm here. Even Tiffany, she'll kind of, you see her a little bit. Dark humour is the only way we go. Oh my goodness. We were brought up in an Irish family. You know, it's battle of the fittest. It literally is, and it's fought to the death, unfortunately. And we were. Oh, you did. Yes, I remember now. Yes, I remember. Yeah, you missed it all. It was just crazy. It's crazy. She's quite chill on here. Don't be fooled. She's crazy. And the rest of them are just as bad. So it's just, I had another sister on here the other night. She's the worst out of the lot. Yeah. It's a good job she's not in here a lot. But yeah, so it's just crazy. It really is. But yeah, fun times, people. But thank you all for joining me again. Is it time for the jingle? Are we gonna do the jingle? Okay. Back to the Patreon. I never heard. No one got in touch with me from the other video to let me know if I've done it right. I might hashtag a Patreon when I upload it. I might upload it maybe. You know, put the hashtag Patreon. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Jingles time. It is jingles time. Okay, so if you're watching tomorrow and you know anything about Patreons, if you could possibly go in to patreon.com slash Jess Rose 54. Oh God, what is it? 5472. 5472. If you could, Jess Rose 5472. If you could go into that and just have a look at mine, and just to see if it looks like everyone else's Patreon. Maybe it's supposed to not be. But if not, don't worry. I'm catching the comments as well. I'm trying to finish my ending. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. But if not, it's fine. And then, okay. So patreon.com slash Jess Rose 5472. And then if you could do that, and then like, comment, subscribe, guys, please. Like, comment, subscribe. Look at the sweat, okay? Like, comment, subscribe, guys. You're not even seeing my face anymore. You're just seeing thumbs. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, please. If you're watching tomorrow, look at this. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, please. Maybe, yeah, I'll hold it back here. There. Like, comments. They were getting nearer the camera, weren't they? I was starting to notice you couldn't even see my face then. They're getting nearer. It's all like, comment, subscribe. Scottish, Irish, and same sort of sense of humour. Absolutely. 100%. Just as brutal. I agree. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Yeah, so if you're watching tomorrow, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I don't know. Have you seen my daughters? My daughter's got one, and every time she goes, can you like, and she does it properly. She's like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And as she's doing it, I'm recording, I'm like, ugh. Yes, it is, Warwick. Yes, it is. It is. It is. And then this doesn't help it, and it all just, that was what it was like the other night. It was so bad. It was so bad the other night. And you know, I've actually got, have you seen them fans that you can put around your neck and they're ever so good. I got one last summer, but I can't have it on here because of the noise. They're really noisy, so it just interfered too much. But yeah, I tried to put it on earlier, and I thought this will stop that happening, because all of a sudden I see a shine here and a shine here and a shine, but it's too noisy, so I can't even do that. So I just have to literally, as I'm talking, and then as I'm talking to you, as the story goes on, you'll notice that I start to have like a red mark here, red mark here. It's terrible. I just sort of come away from the camera so you can't see it. But yes, that's what that is. It's ladies of a certain age, eh? What can you do? But like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And yes, if you have a story for next week, pop it in the comments, please. Phil, you mentioned one the other week, and I said pop it in the comments, and I don't know if you did. If you could, because I can't remember the name, if you could pop that in, and we can make Tuesday Phil's night. Is everyone up for that? Phil's night on Tuesday. So I just want to say, I don't know who's still here, but thank you to Warwick and Kelly and Phil. Where am I? Tiffany, of course, Hayley. Is everyone, have I got everyone? I think I've mentioned everyone, have I? Yes, I have. I believe I have anyway. If I haven't, let me know. Northampton is yes, please, Phil. Yeah, and we'll have yours on Tuesday. I don't know where is it that by Nottingham? Geography's not my strong suit. I'm terrible with geography. I really am. I actually know more about other countries than I do about our own, which is really embarrassing. But yeah, okay. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. She's not here. She's gone. She's gone. There's no way my mum would still be watching now. No way. She probably cut out probably after about 3 minutes. So you're east, we're west. I see you're not too far then, Phil. Yeah, mum just about comes on, and then, but I reckon she lasted probably about 10 minutes, and then out she went again. But I'm so happy she joined in. I'm so happy she joined. So, but yeah, you're not east, Tiffany. You're north. My mum, she is my double. Tiffany's more like my dad. I think you're more like dad, aren't you? She's a bit of a mixture, Tiffany's. But yes, I'm very like my mum. Really like my mum. Always have been. It's crazy. And sometimes I see myself in photos and I'm like, yes, there she is. There's mama. East Midlands, Jess. You're not East Midlands, Tiffany. You're north. You're Skegness. I forgot that wrong. I thought you're up there. No. See, this is why I don't get involved in geography chats. This is why I don't bother. I can't. I don't know where. I always thought, you're not Midlands though, are you? I'm Midlands. So, no. You are Skegness, that's what it says. So you are in Scotland now, Kelly. Wow. So you're our furthest one. You're our furthest family member. Rose family member. Okay, that's good. Is the accent, do you find the accent hard? East Lindsey. East Lindsey. Yeah, that's where you are, not East Midlands. I didn't think you was. Northwest England. Okay. Is that where you are, Warwick? I was going to ask the other day, where is everyone? Because I do wonder sometimes, because I have seen on some of my subscribers, I've got people watching from Canada as well. Okay. It's East Midlands, Jess. You're not in the... Right, do you know what? I'll fight you afterwards, Tiffany, because I don't think you are. You can't be in the East Midlands if I'm in the West. You're miles away. But, all right, okay, I'll have to go with you then. I don't know. Me and my sister are having a bicker because she's in Skegness and she doesn't know it's north. So, but there we go. Right, okay, I'm going to let you all go. And I will see you all on Tuesday for Phil's request day. And have a fantastic weekend. And like, comment, subscribe, guys, please. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye. Oh, bye.